follow the guns. And when you follow the guns, you're going to find the drugs, because drugs and guns go hand in hand. It's just a dynamic that never ends. If you're a drug dealer, you're going to have a gun to protect your trade and protect themselves. Our goal was always to go after murderers and get them off the street. There was an argument at a bar, 30 block. And the 30 block is in the 1300 block of William Street. It's a very high traffic drug area. They're an organized group. They call themselves D Block or Dirty Block, and made up of members of young black males between the ages of 16 to 25. The leaders of that group are 26 to 27 years old. Self-made millionaires through the drug trade at their age. Very violent. They're both suspects in multiple murders, along with some of their members. As a result of our investigation, we raided these houses yesterday because of the acts of violence of these members. These are some of the guns we recovered yesterday and the drugs that we took out of the place. This is a 9mm semi-automatic handgun that was loaded with 13 rounds. Kenneth Morris dropped that gun when he jumped out the second floor window of 3140 Broad Street yesterday morning at 6 a.m. I'm certain that gun is going to come back on some shootings, probably a murder.
Karen, you're going to be number 2 hands-free with a taser. Brennan, you're number 3 hands-free. I have a feeling this guy might flip. Once he flips, then we'll do what we have to do. I'm going to rule.
Don't worry about it.
Drugs and violence go hand in hand. Philadelphia's always been and will continue to be a neighborhood-oriented city. You could live on 7th Street and you'll sell drugs on 7th Street. You're not going to dare go to 8th Street because you know 8th Street, that's a territory that's controlled by the members of the 8th Street gang. We were interviewing a young man. He was 27 years old, and he started talking about murders. He has approximately 5 bodies on him, and it was a proffer session, so he was a big drug dealer, but then he wasn't liking the drug game, so he became a hitman, and he would bump off drug dealers for other drug dealers and rob drug dealers, and that was his claim to fame. And the way he was talking about, yeah, I shot so-and-so over there, and yeah, it was no big deal. He gurgled a little bit, but then I shot him again.
Young man named Anthony Lagon went out on a robbery spree, robbed a pizza delivery driver. The driver had his wife with him while making deliveries. And during the robbery, Anthony Lagon took the driver out of the vehicle, placed him on the ground, and said to his wife, "Do you want him to live or die?" while pointing a gun to his head. She said, "Please let my husband live." And he said sorry and shot him in the back of the head and killed him. We wound up arresting Anthony later on, and about a year and a half later, I received a letter from Anthony, who was now on death row, convicted and got the death sentence. And he was on death row. He wrote a letter saying he had information on multiple murders in Philadelphia. So I questioned him about the murder again, and I said, "I don't understand why you killed that pizza guy like you did." And he said, "I was smoking wet." And he says, "I don't remember anything from that night." I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm very forward with you. You're a suspect in a lot of stuff. Hakeem's looking at life. Because, yeah. And so is Naeem. So, and you're a part of the crew. I mean, if I were you, I'd just worry about who's going to rat out and talk about everybody else. So I said, if I was you, I'd worry about who's ratting on you. You're out in the street, a lot of guys locked up. I just want you to be careful. All right, bud. Take care. See you. Part of our purpose for locking a lot of these members up for the guns and the drugs and buying and selling PCP, crack cocaine, is to flip them and get information from them on the murder cases. They don't want to go to jail for 25 years, and for cooperation they'll get a reduced sentence. So they rat, and they give up information on murders that they know about or were witness to.
My goal in what we do is to try and work our way as high up into an organization or a cartel or whatever it leads us to, but I have to do it very, very rapidly. Do you have anything on you? Guns, drugs, or money?
You're trying to help yourself, son. You understand? You're in a lot of trouble here. You're going back to jail. You're going to finish out 5 to 10 years.
I think we're green. What do you think?
Yeah, we're green.
Positive.
Yeah.
All right, listen up. Listen up. Transport's coming. He's got about 4 or 5 minutes at the most. If he doesn't talk by then, he goes to county. End of story. All bets are off.
There's an area now in South Philadelphia, not far from where I grew up at, and the violence there has turned up dramatically. Murders, shootings, and one of the reasons for that is there's a guy that just got out of federal prison down there who kind of has his thumb on the area. He got out of jail, he's trying to make more money. He was put away for about 7 years, now he's back in the game. Very violent guy, everyone fears him. Instead of going for 21, 22-year-old guys, he's got 15, 16-year-olders out selling drugs for him, shaking down number writers, shaking down drug dealers. If they don't concede, then they're shooting them. There have been a lot of murders took place, so what we're doing here in the Gun Violence Task Force is we're taking our product from North Philadelphia and we're moving down to South Philadelphia.